Welcome to the Good Enough Lap Guide in the BMW M2 at Okayama International Circuit, your lap guide to move up through the splits. The purpose of this lap guide is to give you guys a foundation that you can build on top of. If you can run within a second and a half of this lap time, run smart races, you're going to be able to win lower split races, move up through the splits, and eventually get to the top split. This week we're racing at Okayama. This is a classic track. It's in a lot of games, so you're probably pretty familiar with it if you played any other games before. It's a pretty straightforward track, but there are some nuances to it. Like turn 1 has a specific feel to it. Turn 2 has a specific feel to it. You get into turn 4, you have to hit that right. And then you get into the hairpin. The hairpin's a spot where you can really make up a lot of time with your braking and just really being aggressive with your braking there. But then you get into turn 6, that downhill left-hander. That's a very unique corner. And then the turn into turn 7, and then you finish with turn 8 and turn 9. Both of those late apexes, to nail those corners is pretty tricky. It's an interesting track because on the surface it seems very straightforward and very simple, but there are a lot of small nuances to the track. Next I'll talk about the characteristics of the BMW M2. So it understeers on entry. You need to be really patient on entry. It's really easy to overdrive the corner. The car will push out wide and just destroy your corner. The fun part about this car though is when you are patient on entry, you get to the middle and the exit and you get on throttle, the car picks up oversteer on throttle. So it's a lot of fun because you can rotate the car while on throttle and it helps you get out of the corners. Like turn 11, it's a lot of fun once you hit your apex and come out of that corner. Big thing about this car is you want to stay in third gear where you feel like you're in second gear. So just remember that. Check out this video. I'll be in third gear. You'll be thinking I should be in second gear. Just be in third gear. 1, I think this car just has a lot of torque. 2, the 2-3 shift really chirps the tires and it'll kick the rear end loose, cause instability. And 3, I think the traction control just doesn't kick in quite as much as it does when it's in second gear. The weather for this lap was 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 23.8 degrees Celsius. The track temp was 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 36.7 degrees Celsius, and the lap time was 1:39.436. Alright, let's get into the lap. For turn 1, your braking point will be where the dirt starts on the left. And as we're going through the corner, you'll be shooting for a late apex. And then you can start picking up the throttle as you're coming to the end of the curb on the right. For turn 2, your braking zone is going to be at the end of the blue and white barrier on the right. And it'll be a middle late apex for the corner. This section's pretty straightforward, just clip your apexes and run the straightest line possible. For turn 4, you're going to brake about 2 car lengths past the 100 marker on the left. And then it'll be a middle apex for the corner. Once you've hit the apex, I find it's best to keep a relatively tight line around the rest of the corner. As we're heading down the back straight, you want to really optimize your braking for turn 5. You want to have good initial hard braking and then slowly let up as you're getting into the corner. Your braking zone for the corner is going to be about 3 car lengths before the 100 marker on your left. And then as we're headed through the corner, it's about a middle apex, but you really want to hug the curb all the way around the corner through exit so you can get a good line going into turn 6. For turn 6, your braking point's going to be right here. It's just as you're coming back to the edge of the track, and then you'll head into the corner. It'll be an early apex for the corner. Just make sure you get the car to rotate before you get back on throttle. For turn 7, your braking and turn-in point is going to be where this white line is just before the curb. It'll be a middle late apex for the corner, and then you'll want to get back on the throttle once the nose of the car starts to point at the tents. For turn 8, your braking point will be just as you pass under the footbridge. It'll be a middle late apex for the corner, and you want to keep a tight line on exit so you can get the best line into 9. For turn 9, there's no obvious braking point. You'll just have to get the rhythm of it, but this is where I brake. And then it'll be a middle late apex for the corner. For turn 10, you can cut a little bit more than I did in this lap, and I do find the car goes over the curb smoother when you do, but just don't cut too much because they will give you a slowdown penalty. And then your braking point for turn 11 will be as the curb's ending on the left. For turn 11, it's going to be a middle apex, and then you can get back on the throttle once you start to point towards the houses. And that's your good enough lap guide in the BMW M2 at Okayama International Circuit. If you guys found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. I'm doing these every week, so you can subscribe to get the latest video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Do it for Dale.